I'm broadcaster Mike Hayes again in my backyard with another of my backyard chats about crowdfunding, because I've interviewed hundreds and hundreds of crowdfunding campaigners and used my 25 years of experience to really drill down and learn exactly how they did it with social media, because I really wanted to learn how to take this exciting new tool for entrepreneurs called crowdfunding beyond friends and family. So there's a lot of great ways to do it. It should be and is direct response. I want to talk a little bit more about that. But the main thing I wanted to do today was introduce you to a brand new book that I've spent this weekend, this Thanksgiving weekend reading. It's just out by Nick Nanton, Nanton, and it's called Story Selling. So let me hit some of the key points of it with you. Basically, it talks about 5 key points that you'll learn about, but many things. It's about really understanding that your story is your marketing, your business plan today in the age of digital media fusion. Which part of that is crowdfunding. It's just a new way of raising money and pre-selling product. So you want your story to be all across the board exactly the same. So that it's authentic. So you tell your story first to yourself, your staff, understand it, and then you can broadcast that out through social media, new media, and if you need help or funding, or you're ready to pre-sell or test a product or product idea, crowdfunding is the perfect way to do it. So let me tell you about some of the key points that I learned from this new book called Story Selling. One of their top 5 keys is the power of one. So you want to make sure that you're communicating that you understand who your client is, and you want to have a big audience. That's one thing I learned, just to kind of digress for a second. When I was 22 years old and an NBC page in New York, I created the world's only copy of the Johnny Carson talk show game. We were ambitious. A couple of guys and I got together. We created this game. We played it with Johnny. He loved it. We played it with Milton Bradley. They liked it. But then Sonny Werblin, Johnny's lawyer, stepped in and wanted $250,000 for Johnny's name and likeness. And for a 21-year-old page making $100 a week, that wasn't going to happen. So, I wanted to learn ways of marketing to never need the big guy again, and that's how I've spent my entire career of teaching and learning how to do that, and also learn that you can't have a market of one for your project. In other words, if Johnny Carson didn't like it, or if I couldn't get through that needle, it wasn't going to happen. So I realized that was a big lesson as a young entrepreneur at the time. A next lesson that they talk about, that marketing today has got to be some form of direct response. It doesn't have to be on TV, doesn't have to be on radio, but it's got to be trackable. Otherwise, you're going to waste a lot of money. You're not going to know what part of your advertising is working. The old joke is, I know half of my advertising is working. Now, if I can only figure out what half, I'd be in great shape. Well, the key is to understand that direct response is a way to know what's working for you and what's not. The next thing they talk about is personality-driven marketing, because they buy you first. They ask the question, if you needed a brain surgeon, how would you know who to hire? Well, you wouldn't. And so you've got to kind of talk to them, be comfortable, and that's how you find out who would be best to help you with your brain surgery or whatever it is that you actually need. So that's one key. And people buy you first, so they've got to be comfortable with you, and that's frankly why I'm doing these backyard coaching videos, so that you'll understand what makes me different. Yeah, we have our online formal videos at Crowdfunding Intelligence, but this is my backyard, and I'm gonna I can do these easily, simply, have fun with them, and bring you a lot more information a lot more quickly this way. The next thing they talk about is know your customer, know your marketplace. They kind of joke around that maybe you could know everything about Homer Simpson and where he lives and everything, but do you really know your own customer? Because Homer Simpson is not a real person. He's not going to pay you any money. Do you know your real customer as well as you know Homer Simpson? One of the things that they said is that you have to out-hustle everyone all the time, every time. And that is a key. Good old-fashioned hard work and perseverance will beat passion every time. So you got to hustle, you got to work hard, and you got to be willing to do the things that it takes to become successful. Thanks for joining me for another of my series of Backyard Crowdfunding Chats. I'm Mike Hayes. Join me at crowdfundingintelligence.com.